Randy Pennytaw with MyTabletLife.com. Here today with the Maylong M150 Universe tablet. This tablet is a cheap tablet that can be picked up at Walgreens.com. Currently it's running at $129.99. However, there have been sales where you could pick it up at $99.99. So it's basically a $100 tablet. And because of that, there's not a whole lot that you can expect from this device. It's a cheap tablet, so it's running an older version of Android, which is Android 1.6. It has a resistive touchscreen, 800 by 480, so basically a 7-inch size. The processor is a VM8505 Plus, running somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 megahertz. 256 megabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes storage, and surprisingly enough, one addition that I was shocked about, a G sensor. So it is able to rotate on its own. You don't have to have software do it. Here we go with the loading screen. In the box, you get the Maylong. You get this little dongle here, which offers a USB port, 2 USB ports, and an Ethernet port, which is one thing I'm actually kind of surprised that they give you. And you also get the stylus. With this being a resistive touchscreen, they went ahead and included a telescoping stylus for you to make things a little bit easier on you. As you can see, we've come up to the main screen here. It's currently locked, and right at the moment it is loading up the micro SD card. It does come with a micro SD card slot over here on this side. This is where the that little adapter I showed you with the USB ports plugs into, and then you have your headphone and your power right there, and then 2 speakers. The menu button and the volume rocker on the top. To unlock the device, you hit the menu button and it unlocks the device. On the notification bar up here, you can see a back button, menu, volume up and down. That little button there is to take pictures. Screen basically, and there you can see what that of a capture of is. Time, battery. Obviously, I'm a little low on battery life right at the moment. Wi-Fi. This button over here is for your icon is for the safely remove of the micro SD card. Here's one of the issues that I've run into with this device the way it is right at the moment, and as you can see, it's not sized correctly for this screen. For whatever reason, they didn't go in and fix the sizing of that. And then you have a home button right over there on the other side. On the screen you can see icons, and this is how it ships right out of the box. See icons for browser, YouTube, Aldico, email, my video, Wi-Fi settings, an app market, but don't confuse this with the Android app market because it certainly is not the Android app market. It has only a few apps in it. A file browser, my photo, and my music. If you open up that door, you can see a few more programs in here. A couple of things that are interesting about this particular device. You have 3G settings. Those settings are set up so that you can go in and set up a phone to be the connection to this device for the internet. You also have ADSL settings. You can actually, with this dongle, you can connect to your Ethernet, an Ethernet cable, and plug right in, put in your DSL settings, and you can be on the net directly from the cable, which is an odd choice, and not too many devices have that. You also have Aldico, which is an ebook reader, App Market, Dropbox, Kindle, and Nook. I have added on my own, just trying those out to see how they worked. Contacts, camera. You have a camcorder app. That both of those work with this particular camera right here in the front screen, which is not that great. It does work, but the images are rather grainy and not all that good. Ethernet file browser, gallery, gravity sensor. That's for working on the gravity sensor. Magic Album, we'll go into that in just a second. It's actually a nice little app. As you can see, I tried to install Market for Arcos to see if that would give me the Market app, because that's a 1.6 version. That didn't work very well at all, but hey, I thought I'd give it a shot. You have picture capture and some of the other settings. Okay, let's go into Magic Album here real quick. I actually kind of like this. This is actually a nice front end for this device. As you can see, it gives you the weather, the time, the date, some shortcuts down here, and even some extended weather right over here on this side. It makes a nice front end, and it actually would make for a nice desktop-like clock. So it's not a bad little program in and of itself, and it works decently. Let's go into Aldeco here real quick, show you the ebook reader portion of it. As I've said, this does have a G sensor in it, so it will switch. Sometimes it takes it a little bit to switch. There you can see it just switched over on its own. Go into HG Wells here for just a couple of seconds, give you an idea of what it looks like when you're opening the book. Okay, dismiss this out of the way. Here we are in the middle of reading HG Wells. You can scroll by either swiping across the screen or just by a tap of your finger or your thumb, and it works relatively well. Not bad looking. It scrolls relatively well, and no real issues there. You can use the button on the front to be a back button or to be a home button. Come back out to the main screen. One of the things I wanted to point out, one of the issues that it does have is when you rotate to portrait mode while you're on the home screen. For some reason, the decision was made, and I'm not exactly sure why, but the decision was made that the whole image would fit the screen in portrait. However, it doesn't. Obviously, it messes up the image. It becomes very, very squished together, does not look good at all, and doesn't scroll with the home screen. And I haven't figured out why they would do something like that. Doesn't look too bad when you come over here, back over into landscape mode, and as you can see, but even then it's not scrolling. The background itself is not scrolling with the home screen. Not sure why. YouTube does work. Played a couple of videos on that. Been having a few issues with my Wi-Fi this morning, so I'm not sure if it's actually going to work for me right at the moment. And the answer is apparently no. Doesn't even want to open at the moment. There we go. See if we can get a video to load here. I've played several YouTube videos. I was actually kind of shocked there was a YouTube app on here, and the fact that it does work at all kind of surprised me. But again, it does work, and obviously I'm having issues. However, I tried to play Big Buck Bunny, which is a standard video that we use to look at the different apps, to see the quality and stuff like that, and even the 480p video of Big Buck Bunny would not work. So obviously, I just haven't found the settings. This is supposed to be able to play MP4s and other videos, but it just wouldn't work for me, and that was one of the issues that I had. Another issue that I have is the build quality of this device. I'm assuming just because it's one of those cheap Android devices that are out there, they didn't take a whole lot of time with it. When I got this home and I took it out of the box, this section of the screen right here was actually popped up out of the casing. I had to pop it back into the casing to make it flush again. However, I still have an issue right over here that you can't tell during the daytime, but at nighttime, the backlight leaks through in this area right here, and shows a little bit of light, which is kind of a pain. I mean, it's not huge, but it is there. All in all, I think I would rate this device for kids. This might be a perfect device to get a kid if you know, you're looking for a birthday or a Christmas present. I don't think this is going to be a device for anybody out there who's really seriously looking into the tablet market and wanting to use it to do things like play videos and stuff like that. It will not play games like Angry Birds or any of those 3D games that are out right at the moment. And let alone the fact that most of them you can't get to because there is no app market on here, except for the minor one that they install themselves. Bring that up real quick just to show you what it's like. As you can see, there are a few things on here. There are some things that will play and will install, but all in all, the $100 price, it's one of those things. This is you are getting what you pay for. However, if you're looking for a cheap device for a child or anything like that, I'm thinking this is actually might be a good choice for you. This is Randy Pennytop with MyTabletLife.com.